Hello everybody. Today I am doing something in my kitchen. Jeff went out hunting and he got himself a nice deer. So I'm going to cook some venison backstrap. And I'm going to do it as like a beef Wellington, but it's going to be venison Wellington instead. I don't have fresh mushrooms, but I do have dried mushrooms. So I've got those rehydrating. And some puff pastry that I've had in the freezer for a little while now, so I'm going to use that up. And first thing we need to do is unwrap this and get it into a hot frying pan and brown it nicely on all sides. This is a beautiful piece of meat. Look at that. Doesn't that just look amazing? So I'm going to get my pan heated up with some oil and some butter, and I'm going to brown this really well. Some salt, pepper, put that over, salt, pepper, Ideally, you want to use fresh mushrooms for this, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just using dehydrated. So I want to get these chopped up really, really fine. So I just actually put it on a plate and set it outside to cool, because you don't want to do this hot. So, ooh, that's yummy already. There's a little bit of a tail here that's specially made for my mouth. All right, next step. Take your venison tenderloin and coat it in yellow mustard. We've got the yellow mustard on there, and then we're just going to rub that around the entire thing. A piece of cling wrap. Lay down a little bit of your mushroom down there. Put all the mushrooms around. Dropped a little bit there. Get that coated. Rolled up in those mushrooms. All right, you want to take this and roll it up as tightly as you can. And once you've got that, take your ends, twist them up. So you've got this nice little log of venison. So that's just going to sit in the refrigerator until I'm ready to wrap it in puff pastry. There's my kitchen helper. This is what he looks like every time I'm in the kitchen. What? What do you want? When I was working on the Wellington yesterday, after I put it in the fridge, I came to the realization that I forgot to put on the smoked smoked meat. So we put the whole dinner on hold because I had some pancetta in the freezer. So I had to get it out and let it thaw. And so now it's the next morning and I'm going to actually finally wrap this. Do you have to make so much noise over there?
What?
You're such a pain. So I'm gonna wrap this Wellington in this bacon and put it back in the fridge. We'll have it for dinner this evening. Get that wrapped nice and tight. And the same thing we did before. Roll that up tight. Get the air out. Roll that up nice and tight. And put that back in the refrigerator until this evening. So it has been a beautiful day today. We started fiddling around outside here thinking we were just gonna, you know, do a little bit here and there. And before you know it, we have got this entire area that was full of stuff completely cleaned out. But we had that old flat back canoe, there was old junky trailer back there, all the leftover steel and some fiberglass roofing stuff was all back here. But we've got it all cleaned out now and it looks really, really good. So when you pull in the driveway, you don't see a junkyard back here anymore. And back behind the bunkie, we had all kinds of leftover lumber back here. Most of that is all cleaned up. We put the flat back canoe there. That's going to be another project we do because it's half the back, the transom is all rotten, so that needs to all be repaired. So all the scrap wood and everything has been cleaned up and put away. It is all now over here in our wood storage area. So everything's been cleaned up. All the decent wood has been put back in here and we can use it for various projects. It'll be clean, it'll be dry. And yeah, easy to access. We don't have to dig through piles of leaves and branches and everything to find all our wood. And it's separated into pressure treated and barn board and 2x4, so on, etc. So that's so much better now. We love this thing. Now let's go into the shop. I think Jeff is doing something in there. We'll go have a look, see what Jeff is up to. Hey, what are you doing in here?
Sharpening saws. Prepping for a little bit of work tomorrow. So I'm removing the screws that hold the muffler on. So I want to check and see if the spark arrestor is plugged up or not. It looks really good actually. Can I see that light?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
So what does the spark arrestor do?
The spark arrestor? What's it sound like it does?
It takes sparks into custody and sends them to jail.
Boy.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know? It prevents it. It just, all it is a screen that prevents, because the exhausts get hot, right? And you're dealing with sawdust, and if you're cutting dry wood, you're dealing with sawdust, and you know, that's a stray exhaust comes out and it starts fires, so it stops sparks.
Got it. That makes way more sense.
Spark arrestor. Yeah, kinda. Now I'm just gonna clean it up. I haven't done it for a while, and really like to get some compressed air, but then I have to start the generator and all that crap. So I'm just gonna clean this kind of stuff out in the garbage over here. This saw is getting old. I bought a new one, but I still use this one mostly because, you know, it's a little lighter than the new one. It's not as big. This is, no, not my new big saw.
Oh, your other,
This is my,
this is your medium size saw.
yeah, I guess.
So we have 3 saws.
Yeah.
We've got this one, which is brand new. The big one, which is down here. That's a newer saw as well.
This is the oldest one. Well, I think it's older. Here's the guy that got replaced. A little it's an 017, so that one replaced it. It's just done, but I'm gonna save it for the gas tanks and parts and recoil and that kind of stuff. But it'll still run, but the flywheel's euchred, so it needs a new flywheel. So, and I tried to get parts at the guy, and they said, "Oh, it's too old. We can't get parts for that."
So there it sits.
There it gets relegated to the under the bench. There's the cover. It's just a quick cleaning. I didn't do a thorough cleaning. Snug this up a little bit. I'm gonna keep it a little tight because what we're gonna use it for tomorrow is brushing. So sawing brush throws chains easily, and if they're loose, they're done. They just fly off. There. Fuel that up. That's ready to go. See?
Got our back strap, and it's been in the fridge all day long. So now the next step is to get out the puff pastry. It also has been sitting in the fridge because, like I said earlier, I messed up and totally forgot to put the pancetta on the outside. And my oven is turned on to 450 degrees preheating. So it's been on for a while now. Smells yummy. Around my puff pastry. So lay that on there just like that. A little bit of water to make that edge wet so it seals nicely. This is going to be the bottom. I'm just going to cut this excess out like that, and that's going to wet this here, and fold that up like a present. Do the same thing on this side. I'll take this whole kit and caboodle. I've got some cracks in my pastry here. Just do some light scoring so it's extra pretty. There it is, ready for the oven. I'm just going to throw it in there, and probably about 30 minutes and we should be done. And for the vegetable, we are going to have some asparagus, which I did not grow myself, but I did put in the freezer, and some carrots, which I did grow myself. Time is up, and it's ready to come out. Oh, that's kind of hot. Let's have a closer look. Doesn't that look fantastic? So now we just have to let this rest for 10 to 15 minutes. Vegetables are just about ready as well, and we'll let you have a look at it when we cut it open. Look at that.
Looks perfect.
It is almost perfect. It smells, oh, it smells so good. We are not fancy people, but we are eating fancy food, aren't we? Uh-oh, I've gone and wrecked the pastry. Oh man. I'll take this one because it's not pretty.
Oh,
I know.
you need the proper tool.
I thought I had the proper tool, but you know what? I'm going to eat it no matter what happens here because it's going to be delicious. I'm a bit sad that it's not so pretty on my plate now, though.
We just want to do a shout out to Larry and Vicky, sponsoring Beer 30. Thanks again. Very good.